Hello everybody, this is Stonewall, and here we are very close to the end of the life cycle for Black Ops 4. Now, a lot of people will continue to play it, but once Modern Warfare comes out, I'm sure that will drop off pretty significantly. And that's just a month out, October 25th. But I had a request on one of my older Reactive Camo videos that I do a little bit of a showcase showing off what all Reactive Camos I have. I played this game from the first operation, so I have all of the reactive camos from the operations. The only ones I don't have are ones that were sold in the shop. So let me go over a couple of things real quick before I show off all of them. Two that I got from reserves are the Vanguard reactive camo here and the Afterlife. The only one I've purchased with COD points is the Cypher reactive camo. Alright, so let's start from the very beginning, and I think these are pretty close to in order as to when they came out, if I remember correctly. This was one of the first ones we got in the very first operation. The reason it says Black Market Special Orders is because later it was changed, if I remember correctly. I can't remember, or was that a pre-order bonus? I can't remember if that was a pre-order bonus or if it was in the first operation. Anyways, let's take a look at this one. This one I refer to as the Hot Wheels camo because that's what it looks like. But these are based off of what types of kills you get. So it starts off this nice blue and green. Then Kingslayer turns it purple and white. Buzzkill is black, purple, and a little bit of lime green, which is kind of cool. This is probably my favorite. The black with red and yellowish flames. And then finally you get blue and it's kind of between pink and purple. Magenta, something like that. And then again like lime green. Anyways, still pretty cool. I'm also using the ICR because this is the weapon that most people are comfortable with. I am using the Mark II variant just because I really like the wood furniture on it. But anyways, next up, this was for the Titan, if I remember correctly. But this one slightly changes colors. If you can tell what that is, that's like sharks swimming in the water. As you go through, they'll change colors. The background changes some. This could almost pass off as a dark matter. And you finally have it 30 kills. So pretty cool little camo there. Next up we have Road Trip, and this was from the Barbarians. Now I think that was a mini event, if I remember correctly. So you can see the car kind of at the top of the receiver there, going along. So the background changes colors as you go. For some reason this one, until the last stage, it doesn't really cover the lower receiver, which is kind of odd. Which is the part where the magazine fits and the right above the trigger and grip. Anyways, pretty cool. Next up, this was one that I got out of reserves. I think it came with the SG-12 Mark II variant. And I do like this one. This one's pretty cool. Just kind of the samurai theme. As you can see, color changes, the particle effects change a little bit. And this one is all for objective kills, which is kind of unique. Next up, this I think first was on the GKS. It's a nice little dragon with the purple flames there. And of course it changes colors as you go. So you got green, red, kind of a gold color, purple background, gold dragon. And then finally, well, did that actually change much? Very little between the 25 and 30. Alright, next up, Plasma Drive. I think this was originally on the KN-57. I don't know how I remember some of this, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. This is kind of a cool little one. You got different color changes across there. Alright. Next up, APB, or All Points Bulletin. So it's kind of a police chase. It reminds me of like a old arcade game. or something like that. And actually, if you look right down here, it says arcade. So, yeah. So start of the game, and then 1 kill, you get this red car that's running over other cars, swerving in traffic. 2 kills, you get these 3 police cars, and it starts flashing. And then by 3, you get this bright pink background. You get the car swerving and the police cars. So, anyways, kind of unique there. Then the only one that I bought, and it was partly because it came with cosmetic items for 0 and a couple other things, I think. But this one's kind of interesting. A lot of green in this, remind you of the Matrix or something. And it starts getting into some kind of crazy colors. This one, and I'm sure this is what they're going for, reminds me of the missing texture symbol from Minecraft, that pink and black checkered pattern. That's exactly what that reminds me of. And this is just a different color variation on that. And then a bright lime green and black with pink particle effects and a little bit of gray writing. So, kind of interesting. Alright, and then the strip, this one was for Operation Grand Heist. And it's kind of reminiscent of Las Vegas, or making you think of Las Vegas, all the neon lights and that sort of stuff. So you see a grenade pin being pulled in that one. Then you start adding these little moving lights. That's my dog still itching, I guess. Then colors change and picture changes a little bit. Is that a tiger there in the middle? I think so. You get a jackpot kind of thing. Is that a space skeleton, or a skeleton in a spacesuit, or a zombie, or something like that? And then at 30, that. So, nice bright colors on that one, and it gets brighter as it goes. So then this one, is this one on the Spitfire, I think? This one is kind of like a World War I dogfight. And as you can see, bottom left here where it shows the symbol for it, that's exactly what it is. It's a biplane and a triplane. Very similar to what the Red Baron would have flown in, Baron von Richthofen, in that triplane. But kind of changes perspectives a little bit as you go. So here it shows the triplane, the biplane, both. And then this is, almost like a wallpaper kind of thing as it runs across. Is that a rabbit? I think that's a rabbit in there, which is kind of odd. But anyways, we've just got a couple left here, these last 3. This one was actually from one of the first operations, I think. This was with the ICR, is what it was originally on. And of course, this was before they made it to where you could put it on any of the weapons, I think. Or you could put it on any of the weapons after you unlocked it at one point. They've made several changes to these throughout. But this one, you had to get headshots to unlock it, so it makes sense that the visual stages are based on headshots. So at 3, some of the eyes start glowing, and at 6, you get these bright red stripes across. It's actually a really cool camo. I like the way it looks, even just in the first stage when nothing's moving. It's got this like 3D texture to it. As you can tell as I move it across the different lighting, which is pretty cool. I like that. And then Afterlife. This is probably one of my favorites of all of them. Because again, it's got this texture and it's got this bright glow, but it's not so much that it really messes with you the way some of the higher stages of Dark Matter does. And we'll take a look at that in just a second. But 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills. So you can cycle through this one several times in a match. But the first one is a nice bright blue, and then you get a little bit of blue, but mostly pink and purple in there. Then some green and blue. And then red and orange. Almost like lava flowing in the background or something. So pretty cool there. And then last but not least, we have Spinal Trap, which has recently kind of replaced Afterlife on a few guns for me. This is, again, from the most recent operation, if I remember correctly. So it's got that nice yellow and gold color and blue. And again, there does seem to be some 3D texturing with this one as well. And then a kind of a pink color there, and then finally green. Alright, so that's all of the reactive camos that I've gotten. Like I said, I've only bought one, and I've only gotten two that are exclusive to supply drops or reserves. So then of course you have some of these that were, again, from reserves or from some of the operations, if I remember correctly. They aren't reactive camos, but some of them are pretty cool. This one's kind of nice. Again, looks like it's got a little bit of texturing to it. This one, not my favorite. It works really well on some weapons. But this one I do like. It reminds me of the original Xbox, not the 360, but the original Xbox startup screen with that green blob, if any of you remember that. Then you've got this that is an animated camo. It's the Megalodon, which again is in reserves. So the annoying thing is you have to unlock this individually for each weapon. So some of the ones I have for this weapon I won't have for others, and I've got some on other weapons that I don't have for this one. Just the way that goes. So let's take a look at this Dark Matter real quick. Whenever you get up into these, it really messes with me. It starts washing out part of my screen a little bit, and so it actually makes it a little bit harder to see enemies. It's not a big deal, but I just don't really run that camo that much. But that's a little bit of the reason why. So anyways, hopefully that's what you had in mind, wanting to see my reactive camos. Again, if you look down at the bottom, I've got 13 of them, and yeah, we'll see if there's any more in the next operation. We've got a few days here on Xbox. And I did think about making a video addressing the Spec Ops survival mode, but as I like to keep it clean on this channel, that would be hard for that, because it's extremely frustrating, because I loved Modern Warfare 3 survival mode. Even after, I think, Infinite Warfare came out, me and a buddy would still go back and play a couple rounds of survival mode. We'd break out the Xbox 360 and go back and play survival in Modern Warfare 3. So for them to delay it an entire year for Xbox and PC is extremely frustrating. Now, I can understand, I really appreciate that they're not doing that with anything else, from what I understand. So maps, guns, that sort of stuff comes out at the same time for everybody. They just completely sacrificed that mode. So again, like some other people were saying, we pay the same price, but we get less. So it's really frustrating. Anyways, don't want to spend too much time on that. But hopefully you enjoyed that. If you got any questions about any of them, let me know. All right, and I'll catch you in another video.